Hello. That was a terrible intro. Hello and welcome back. My name is Rosie, and today we are going to be talking about the upcoming 2024 calendar for Magic the Gathering, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and opinions on each of these sets. Basically, what I think is going to come out of each of them, how I think any of them are going to go, and just overall how I'm feeling about these sets. So Magic or Wizards of the Coast released this graphic not too long ago, talking or just showing the first 3 quarters of 2024. So there theoretically should be one or two more sets for quarter 4 in December, or not December necessarily, but the winter time frame. That might be completely wrong, and I might be making that up, but that is what I believe they will do. So to start off, we've already been getting spoilers for Murders at Karlov Manor and Ravnica Remastered, and I actually did a video on the Murders of Karlov Manor. If you want to check that out, I will put that link in the description below. So far, from the cards that have been revealed for Murders at Karlov Manor, this one right here, I'm excited for it, personally. I really like Ravnica, and it is set in the plane of Ravnica, I believe, unless it's something different, but I believe it's in Ravnica. It's Ravnica themed for sure, but I don't know the exact storyline. I don't know the storyline behind many of these sets, and I don't really know exactly what is going on with them. So, from a mechanical standpoint alone, the set looks pretty fun. I'm a big fan of the guilds, and I'm a big fan of the 2 color pairings. Specifically, Rakdos is my favorite color pairing. I love red and black. But all of the guilds are really fun and thematically fun and flavored well, and it's just always a good time when Ravnica involved. So Ravnica Remastered, which is coming out from this graphic, I think it's coming out before. I actually don't know the exact dates that these are all coming out. I know that quarter 1 is happening sooner rather than later. I want to say early February for Murders at Karlov Manor, and maybe late January for Ravnica Remastered, but I might be completely wrong on that and lying. So don't take my word for that. Ravnica Remastered, I'm excited for just because it'll be fun to be able to draft the OG Ravnica cards and some of the ones from the newer Ravnica set. I forgot exactly what that one was called. But that was around the time I was in early high school, was the last time we were in Ravnica, I think. I'm trying to remember back. I kind of blocked that part of my life out of my memory. I believe that was early high school for me, when they used to sell the guild kits, the guild kit decks with each of the guilds and whatnot. But that was a fun set, and I enjoyed that a lot. I still personally run a lot of cards from Ravnica. For example, I have a Rakdos Lord of Riots EDH deck. And that's one of the first decks I ever made in EDH. So, personally, I have a very soft spot in my heart for Ravnica, like I was saying about Murders of Karlov Manor. And I think that both sets will perform pretty well. It's just hard to mess up a formula that's already been working for Magic, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, they've already established Ravnica as a plane. It's nothing new. People are excited for it. It's going to be hard for them to do something to mess it up. Moving on to the Fallout. The Fallout set. This is going to be a set of 4 decks. Very similar to the Doctor Who set and the Warhammer 40,000 set. It's a Universes Beyond set, so you know that the cards are going to be stronger than normal because they want to sell cards. So that's something I've kind of noticed with the last couple Universes Beyond decks and products and stuff like that, is they make these cards strong on purpose, and the purpose is to sell decks. It wouldn't do very well if they made a Fallout deck and a Fallout set and it made the cards very underpowered, so then the only people buying them would be people who care about Fallout. By making the cards strong, they are bringing in that market of Fallout fans, and they're bringing in that market of Magic players who want the strongest cards in their decks, and they're bringing in maybe the Magic players that, maybe they don't know Fallout, they don't know the theme and the games and stuff that they're from, but maybe it's an interesting. What's the word I'm looking for? It's different, obviously, than regular Magic. So maybe it's an interesting. They're just interested in the game. It's what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say people who like Magic and aren't familiar with Fallout might become interested in the game because of the Magic Fallout cards. That's what I'm trying to say. I took the longest route to say that, and I apologize because that is ridiculous and it's poor public speaking on my end. Anyways, they've already revealed some of the cards for that. I'm especially excited for the Dogmeat Commander deck. I love Dogmeat. He's a funny character. And just the idea of having a dog as your commander with anywhere's clothes, like, that's awesome. Well, actually, I'll pull it up real quick so we can talk about it. Dogmeat MTG. So, yep, they revealed the face commanders for the sets. So here's Dogmeat Ever Loyal. He is a 3/3 for red, green, and white. He's a legendary creature dog. When he Dogmeat ETBs, mill 5 cards and return an aura or equipment card from the graveyard to your hand. Whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, create a junk token. And a junk token is an artifact with tap, sack this artifact, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn, activate only as a sorcery. I believe that is the first instance of a junk token. I might be making that up, and I'm not confident in saying that, but I don't remember any other times that junk tokens have existed in Magic. There also are, the set is adding some other mechanics too, like this is another face commander from one of the other decks. This is the Wise Mothman. He's a 3/3 for a colorless, a black, a green, and a blue, and he's a legendary creature, insect mutant. He is flying, and whenever he ETBs or attacks, each player gets a rad counter, which is also a new mechanic. Whenever one or more non-land cards are milled, put a 1/1 counter on each one up to X target creatures, where X is the number of non-land cards milled this way. So, rad, I believe, mills. I believe on your upkeep, you mill a card for every rad counter you have. So it's a little bit of mill synergy. It's a little bit of, for Mothman, it's a 1/1 counter synergy, right? For putting counters on creatures and stuff. But I do actually enjoy the new mechanics that are brought in with sets like Universes Beyond, such as Fallout. I think that that's fun and very thematic, and it also gives Magic an excuse to explore maybe ideas that they had never thought about before. You know, maybe Magic would never put in a junk token if it wasn't for Fallout. But back to the junk token, that will see play in Prosper. Maybe I could see it. Prosper, Tonemound, the EDH deck. I personally have a Prosper deck. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place when I talk, but I personally have a Prosper deck, and Prosper is all about exiling. He's all about artifacts too. A lot of my win conditions in my Prosper deck revolves around artifacts and sacrificing artifacts. So a card that is going to be an artifact and allow me to sack it to play a card off the top of my library is right up Prosper's alley. I don't know if it'll be better than just going full treasure token with Prosper, which is what most people do. That's what I do right now. But I think it'll see some play. But we'll see. Let's go back to our little graphic here. The next set on the agenda is Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Now, this is a set I'm excited for just from the very basic premise that they have given us. And all we know for sure, I believe, I could be lacking information, something new could have came out, but I do know that it is going to be a culmination of a lot of Magic's villains from their history on this plane of Thunder Junction or wherever Thunder Junction is. And we're going to see a lot of old, loved characters here. So I'm a big fan of that. I also like Cowboys. I'm a big fan of Cowboys, too. So this set is going to get a big thumbs up from me from a thematic standpoint. Now, when they start releasing spoilers and they start releasing what cards they think are going to be in it, when they start revealing the cards that are going to be in it, I might think differently. I might have a differing opinion. For example, Murders at Karlov Manor. I'm excited for Murders at Karlov Manor, and there are cards that interest me, but it has a very big clue theme on it, and I'm not a big clue guy, so I'm not really as excited for that set as I am for something like Ravnica Remastered and Fallout. I'm excited for it because it's Magic and it's new cards, and I love playing the game, but if for example, Outlaws of Thunder Junction was built around what's the mechanic that I like? Just off the top of my head, if Outlaws of Thunder Junction had a lot of kicker mechanics, I like kicker a lot. I like if it was treasure themed. I'm a big fan of treasures, even though treasures I think have been a little bit overdone recently by Wizards of the Coast. I will be more excited for that than I will for Murders at Karlov Manor for that reason alone. Now, did I really say kicker as my theme that I would be excited for? That is, I have got to get better at talking off the top of my head. Anyways, that's all I really have for Outlaws at Thunder Junction. I think that it'll be cool. Cowboys are cool. I'd love to see something to do with like. I'd love to see them use themes from like old Western movies, like Clint Eastwood films and stuff like that. If they could, and Magic does a great job at doing stuff like that, but just like little snippets here and there, kind of how Eldraine does stuff with old fairy tales. If they did something like that with Westerns and famous Westerns and stuff like that, I think that'd be awesome. Even like Back to the Future 3, when they the third one's when they go to the West, right? Regardless, very excited for the set. I'm excited to see what happens. Now, moving on to Modern Horizons 3, I have no idea how this set's going to go. The last Modern Horizons, they did a great job at making really strong cards. I mean, we can say that, right? So, last Modern Horizons was very format warping for multiple formats. It affected Modern, obviously, a lot, and it also affected Commander a lot. And a lot of the cards printed in that set are see a lot of play today. Off the top of my head, Ragavan is a big card that was printed in Modern Horizons 2, I believe. Modern Horizons 2. Let's just look through some cards real quick, see what's going on. So yeah, Ragavan. It was Modern Horizons. Chatterfang was in Modern Horizons, which is obviously another big card. I think was Yawgmoth Thrawn Physician in Modern Horizons 2, or am I crazy? All of the elemental incarnations were printed in there. That might not have been their first iteration of that. But what's the big modern set right now? Rakdos something. Rakdos, it runs Grief. What's it called? What's it called? I'll think about that for a second. But it's Grief, and you evoke them, and then you get them for free. I forgot what the name of the deck is or whatever. Esper Sentinels, Modern Horizons. So, very, very format warping on multiple levels. But sometimes that's not the end of the world. If they stay around Modern Horizons 2 power level, well, we already have cards at Modern Horizons 2 power level. So I don't think that's going to necessarily blow it up in a crazy way, or change power level and warp formats in a crazy way. But, if they decide to take it up another notch, because it's been 2 years since Modern Horizons 2. No, it's been 3 years because it's 2021. And now it's 2024. Interesting. It's very up in the air for me right now on what exactly is going to occur with Modern Horizons 3. So I'm excited about it. I think that it'll be a good time regardless, unless they just kill every format with it. But I don't think that's possible. So we'll see. It's very up in the air. I don't have a strong opinion about it. We'll leave it at that for now. Next one is Assassin's Creed. I don't know a lot about the Assassin's Creed. Let's see if we can look up anything right now. I assume it'll be very similar to the Fallout and the Warhammer and the Doctor Who sets, and will not be its own set necessarily, but will be 4 decks and maybe some packs or whatever with it. I don't believe they revealed any other information on it. Personally, I like Assassin's Creed. I played a lot of Assassin's Creed 3. We'll pull up this one. Not on the Wii U, but yeah, this one right here. I played a lot of the multiplayer, believe it or not. But this Assassin's Creed is a fun franchise. I think it'll make interesting mechanics. I wonder if they will lean into maybe ninjutsu with an assassin's theme. Um, and the reason I say that is because sneaking through the crowd and killing someone is very on flavor with having an unblocked attacker and ninjutsuing something in. So maybe they'll have their own form of that, and maybe I'm crazy for relating it to ninjutsu and stuff, but the stealthy side of that, I think they'll do something a lot similar to that, maybe along the lines of that, but not exactly. I think thematically they wouldn't just take ninjutsu and just paste it onto Assassin's Card, but I think you will see a lot of if they do 4 decks, especially, you'll see a deck that is based around unblockable creatures and stuff, and anything that can slip through the crowd and whatnot. So that's just a complete guess on my end. It's a prediction. I could be completely wrong, but I think that the sneaky, stealthy ninjutsu and small creatures that have other effects or whatever, we'll see a lot of that with Assassin's Creed. But that's again a complete guess. We'll leave it at that for now, just because there's not really a whole lot to speculate on besides maybe what they're making cards of. But I'm not really confident enough of my Assassin's Creed knowledge to go anywhere with that for now. The next set we'll talk about is Bloom Burrow. Now this is a Magic original set. It looks very, very close to Redwall in the Redwall books. It's a novel series about mice that inhabit. Is it a church? I believe. Redwall Abbey, is that a church? It's been a long time since I've read Redwall. Yeah, it was coming out in like the 80s and stuff like that. So, but it's, animals are alive, and they did a TV show in 1999. Animals with swords and shields, and, that's awesome. I love the theme, so I think that we'll see a continuation in the Bloom Burrow. We'll see a continuation of the animals similar to what we saw in like Eldraine, like with Bramble. Sorry, I'm typing so slow and weird just because my mic's right in front of my keyboard. But like cards like this, not with the adventure, ignore the adventure side, but cool raccoons that do abilities and stuff like that, and maybe the otter or whatever. I forgot exactly what that one was called, but of course everything's gonna be an animal, so it'll be fun to see what maybe tribes they introduce and stuff. I assume we might get more support for Rat Tribal. That would be pretty big, I think, especially building off of the recent support that Eldraine brought with the Rat Tribal. Besides that, I don't have any really strong predictions for Bloom Burrow. I think that it'll be a fun set, and I think that people will enjoy it and will look back on it fondly in the future. And I hope that we'll visit it again too. And that's before we even go there. So, I'm a big fan of the mice holding swords. I think that's a fun theme. So we will see. Moving on, because I don't know what else to say. We'll look at Duskmourn and House of Horror. Now this is the set I think I probably know the least about in just like what it's supposed to be, When I hear House of Horror, it immediately makes me think of the board game Betrayal at the House on the Hill, which I actually have a copy of. You can't see it, so I'll grab it. Ooh, I about fell. So, Betrayal at the House on the Hill is a board game that I love personally. I played a lot of it when I was younger. I also have the expansion right here, so that's how you know I'm a real deal. It's a game based around a haunted house, and obviously, is a modern horror set based on the haunted house trope. So I think we'll see a lot of the eerie, spooky house stuff. We'll see ghosts. We'll see ghouls. We'll see goblins. We'll see twisted visions, and people freaking themselves out and stuff like that. So I don't know. So here it says, yeah, it's inspired by 70s and 80s creepy horror as depicted in slasher films, or the Amityville horror. Is that a movie? Regardless, I think we'll see maybe some serial killer cards. We'll see some ghosts. We'll see, like I said, ghouls, goblins. We'll see literally anything that's horror themed. It just feels a lot like Innistrad, and it feels like we'll see stuff very close to vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. And not that I have a big problem with that. I love those types of creatures and whatnot. But I just I need to see more information on that set too before I really formulate a big opinion on it. If you have any ideas or if you have any knowledge that I just maybe don't know about for any of these sets like Duskmore and Bloom Burrow, Assassin's Creed, Modern Horizons. Oh man, I cannot talk. Or Outlaws of Thunder Junction that we haven't really gotten a lot of information on this. If you have any predictions, I guess I should say, let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you guys think of these upcoming sets. Let me know how you feel about the new Ravnica sets and the Fallout decks. Let me know if you like Universes Beyond or if you think it's really stupid and they should keep it out of Magic. Both, I think, are very fair opinions. Obviously, I just shared my opinions with you guys. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I'm always open to hear that. So, I am excited for 2024 and what it has in store, at least Magic related. I hope that you guys feel the same as I do. And I wish you all a happy and healthy 2024. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I have made one or two other videos related to Magic. If you want me to talk about something specific in one of my future videos, let me know what you want me to talk about. I'll talk about anything. I'm thinking about maybe talking about past sets and maybe looking at the 2023 sets in a retrospective and talking about how I think they went, what cards I enjoyed from it, what cards I maybe didn't like from sets. And I will see you guys in the next video. Besides that, like I said, comment something, talk to me, share opinions, and I'll see you in the next video.